Guess what just showed up at my door? It's Dune Imperium Bloodlines! Oh my god, let's open this baby up. Okay, here it is, Dune Imperium Bloodlines. Check out that beautiful box art. I really love that. It says right here, requires Dune Imperium Uprising or Dune Imperium to play. So one of the things I'm going to be interested to see with this game is how good is it with the original Dune Imperium and how much is it really just an expansion for Uprising. So here's the back of it. See the cool art. Oops, sorry there, Albert. You can see the Sardaukar commanders and all that stuff. So let's just start getting this baby open here. Let's get it open. All right. Ooh, it's like Christmas, you know? Opening this stuff just always is so exciting. There it is. Okay. Without that plastic too, it looks so good. Okay. Thank you. Here we have the cool rulebook art. Some Sardaukar guys doing something or other. Guide to the new stuff. I'm not going to go in detail through the rule book or anything like that. You can check out my other video where I kind of like reacted to everything as it was initially sort of revealed. So this is just a pure unboxing here. Here are some of the new text, which is going to be exciting to see how well these work as well, both mixed with Rise of X, if you do that, or played with the original game. A little bit of a warp on that, unfortunately. And it looks like also true with the second one. So you can see here we've got 18 tech tiles in total. And I think, how many of them can you only use with Uprising? Let's see, this one's okay. 1, 2, oh, this one also. So it's 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So these 6 techs you can only use with Uprising. So that means there's 18 minus 6, there's 12 techs only if you're adding it to the base game. So each stack will only have 4 tech tiles in it. So you're going to potentially run out of techs a lot more often if you're just playing with the base game. Of course, if you play with Rise of X, then you can add them all together and basically never run out of techs. Okay, let's set those aside. What's next in here? Okay, so all of the Sardaukar commander abilities, and again, I'm not going to go through the rules for that, but basically it means if you have a Sardaukar commander in the conflict, then you'll trigger all of the Sardaukar commander abilities that you've collected. And anytime you recruit a commander, you get an ability from like a special row. Here are some of the contracts that are going to go just with Uprising. 2x Siege here goes with one of the new leaders in this game. Okay, here are the Sardaukar commander plastic tokens. Let's take those out so you can kind of see what that looks like there. Kind of cool. I'm personally not really big on the plastic stuff. I like the wooden components, but it's nice that they give you the option. So here are the wooden components here. So they come with these kind of fat cubes. So you can kind of see the difference there. This little beige cube appears to be about the size of one of the standard cubes that comes in the game. And I believe that's for Cheney to keep track of the Cheney leader that comes in this expansion. So you can see that the Sardaukar commander cubes are a lot bigger, which is kind of cool. It's a little strange because they have the same strength, 2 power, as a regular troop, but they have those extra kind of bonuses. But the big fat cubes will make them more conspicuous, so that's kind of cool. Okay, so here we go. We've got our combat and intrigue cards, I guess. Can I get this thing open? These things can sometimes be a bit tricky. Okay, here we go. So we've got some conflicts. Looks like 2 new conflicts, both of them Uprising specific. They deal with the I don't even know what those are called, the war symbols or something. You collect them when you win conflicts. You can match them up to get victory points, and these ones are wild, which is a new mechanic. Other than that, I guess you could use this skirmish, but I don't think it would be really, I think a lot of the value is in there. And then this one has to do with spies. So again, that would be uprising only. We'll just kind of flip through the intrigue cards here. One of the interesting mechanics in Bloodlines is it has a lot of these ways to add the conflict symbol to whatever you're doing, which means you can deploy troops as though you visited a combat space, regardless of where you actually are. Cool conflict here. This is interesting. The card you play this turn has the Emperor icon. So kind of like a mini dispatch and envoy, either draw a card or visit the Emperor space. Very cool. I'm going to look at some of these. I'm not going to go through all of them, but I'm just kind of curious to look at some of them. Honor Guard here, recruiting a Sardaukar commander, including when you acquire one, costs you one less this turn. All right, so I'll go through these a little bit more quickly. Another end game point to do with water. Some nice choice ones here. Withdrawal agreement. Okay, so that's like, what is that card in Rise of Ix? The negotiated withdrawal. So that in an intrigue card. Retreating, by the way, is an interesting mechanic in Rise of Ix because, like I said with the Sardaukar commanders, when you get one of these guys into the conflict, it's just 2 strength like a regular troop, but it triggers your Sardaukar commander abilities, these white things up here. And it still counts even if you retreat the Sardaukar commander. So retreating, I think, is going to be pretty good in this game. All right, here's the Peter DeVries Twisted Intrigue cards. They just look like regular intrigue cards on the back. So, you know, if you give these to somebody, there's like a certain amount of like honor system involved. But again, if you want to hear some of my detailed thoughts on some of those things, you can check out the Bloodlines Revealed video on my channel. Something to do with contracts, something only if you're using techs. Another cool, only if you're using the tech module. Okay, and then these are the Steersman Irkun navigation cards, I think. So that's one of the new leader mechanics, which is cool. Okay, so there we go. Those are the intrigue and combat cards, conflict cards. Next, let's take a look at the Imperium cards. So not a huge stack of them here, but you know, a decent amount. Okay, looks like I got it. Let's pop this baby open. All right, again, I'm not going to go through them all in detail, but we'll take a quick look. Really nice art, really nice, just graphic design as well. So you can see that there are, you know, doubles of some of these cards, but not too many of them. There's another card that adds that conflict symbol, again, allowing you to deploy troops no matter where you actually go. A lot of cards here have tags as well. Look at this. So far, they all have faction tags. Emperor, Freeman, Bene Gesserit, Emperor, Spacing Guild. That's one of the cool things. I think that they have kind of changed in Uprising. I haven't played a lot of Uprising, but I think they've added the tags to a lot more cards. And so far, every single card here has a faction tag on it, which is pretty cool. Here's the command ability here, one of the new mechanics in Uprising. So when you reveal, if you have 6 or more persuasion, then it triggers the command ability. So just kind of a mechanic that encourages you to get your High Council seat, basically. So again, some of these cards are only good with Uprising if it has to do with contracts or spies. But most of them you can use with both. Some of them tell you only put them in if you're using techs. And then we've got some House Hagal cards here. You know, the House Hagal thing, it's cool that they put it in, honestly. This is another thing. The Rivals, I believe, is another way to play solo or potentially with other players. I've played that way. Like sometimes, you know, you want to play Dune Imperium, but you only have one other person. And the House Hagal, it's actually a nice way that allows you to play the game 2 players. And it's not bad. It's not as good, but it works. All right, so those are the Imperium cards. Here's the tech module, Ixian Embassy here. And so it allows you to use techs without using the Rise of Ix stuff. Basically, the rule is just anytime you visit a land strat space, you can buy a tech tile. That's basically it. And if you have a High Council seat, tech tiles cost -1, which is kind of a cool way to do it. Here are the leaders. Let's get this thing off. get this thing off. Okay, everything's kind of got a bit of a warp to it, which I'm not super pleased about, but not the biggest deal. All right, Duncan, Idaho. Very cool leader ability. Swordmaster costs 2 less, and you can send him into the battle as a troop, which is just awesome. Cheney, that's what you're going to use that little cube for, to track her little tactician thing. So anytime she retreats troops or loses troops, it advances and you get bonuses. She's got a mini research station built in, which is pretty crazy. Peter DeVries gets his own crazy twisted intrigue cards, which is pretty interesting. Gets a troop on the ring that you can't deploy. Esmar Tuek is the one that gets that extra siege added to the board. And then you can steal the spice from spaces with his ring, which is pretty funny. And you get bonuses when anybody goes to that siege space. Steersman Yurkun here, you get to choose 4 of these navigation cards. These things over here. At the start of the game. So you kind of got to plan. You got to see the future, which is like thematic for a guild steersman. Fenring here, when you trash a card, get a Solari and then his ring. You can trash a card in your play area or put a spy on an Emperor spot, which is interesting. Gaius Helen Mahayam has to do with spies. Obviously just an uprising person. Liet Kynes here, ignore the influence requirements of Siege Tabber. It doesn't get worms. Instead, you get this other bonus. So again, that would be an uprising only leader. Kota Odax of Ix, so only if you're using tech tiles. Game start, peek at the bottom tech tile of each stack, place one face down here. So you get to kind of reserve a tech for yourself, which I think is really fun. Obviously, you know, you're going to get lucky sometimes and get a great tech off the bottom. Sometimes it maybe not be an ideal one, but I think that's pretty fun. Whenever you could acquire a tech tile, you may choose this one and it costs you 1 less. So not only do you get to reserve it, but it's cheaper if you ever do buy it. So you can trash your techs as well for intrigue cards and drawing, or just get a spice off your signet ring. So a little Memnon kind of spice ability there. And those are the new leaders. So of the leaders, which ones can you use in the base game? So Cheney, yes. Peter, yes. Esmar Tuek, yes. Oh, sorry, Duncan, Idaho as well, yes. Steersman Yurkun, yes. Asimir Fenring. Okay, so Fenring is interesting because, okay, whenever you trash a card, get a Solari, sure. Ring, you may trash a card in your play area or put a spy on Emperor. So I feel like you could use him if you wanted to. He'd be sort of weaker because your signet ring, you know, the option of placing a spy. And I would think part of the power of this leader is in the spy part. So, but if you just want like a trashing leader, I don't know, it could be okay. I guess it's sort of like an inverse Armand in a way. Yeah, it'd be up to you, I guess, if you wanted to do it. Helen, all about spies. So no for Helen Mahayam. I guess we'll say no for Fenring, optional. Liet Kynes is all about Siege Tabber and replacing your worms, so no. And then Kota, yes, as long as you're using techs. So of the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There are 6 new leaders you can use in either Uprising or the original game, and 3 that you can only use in Uprising. So, I mean, not bad, really. Oh, and I forgot to show you the pre-order promo card that came with the game. So if you pre-order from Direwolf directly, the publisher of the game, then you get a promo card. So here it is, the Ruthless Leadership card. Very cool. If you have 1 or more Sardaukar commanders in the conflict, you can trash up to 2 cards. And the reveal, 1 persuasion, 1 sword. But if you have command, 6 or more persuasion, then also activate the conflict. You can deploy troops as well. So there you go. That's everything here from Rise of Ix. I hope you enjoyed that unboxing. Oh, I forgot to smell the cards. Oh yeah, give me a good sniff at everything. The smell of new cards never ceases to excite me. All right, so I'm going to give you more details on this. I'm going to play it for the first time this weekend, and I'm going to let you know what I think. Is it good with the original game? I'm going to try it with base game. I'm going to try it with Rise of Ix. I'm going to try it with Immortality. I'm going to try it with all of those things together, and I'll let you know if I think it's worth it. All right, thanks for tuning in. See you next time. Bye-bye.